Oh, it's Up at Noon! Coming up today, we've got No Man's Sky, which is full of gross animals, Suicide Squad, I'm sorry in advance, and Star Wars, because we feel like it. All that and more right now on Up at Noon Live.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. What's up?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Up at Noon Live. We brought a special friend.
We
Up
did.
at Noon Live is a show that we do every week. Welcome to it. You can watch it on all kinds of stuff, such as IGN.com, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Roku Box, Apple TV, Twitch.tv, Facebook.com, and YouTube.gov.
If you watch it on all of those at the same time, your house will explode.
Yeah, don't do that. Anyway,
man, this is going to be a good show. I'm Brian Altano. This is Max Scoville. We have a very special guest today, Ryan Scott.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for coming on the show.
Welcome.
You were actually on the show years and years ago. You did a little cameo with me.
Yeah, I gave you a hug.
You gave me a hug.
You were very sad.
Yeah, I did a segment about being sad.
Hope I
Greg
cheered
was
you
at
up.
the desk, and you came over and gave me a hug. But we thought we'd bring you back for a very specific segment here. But first, some housekeeping. This show, you can watch it every single week right here at noon on IGN and all those other places we just told you. But if you want to interact with us during the show, it's really easy to do. Hop on Twitter, use the hashtag #UpAtNoon, and I will be responding to your tweets. And anything cool questions you have for us, we'll get to them as we go along. Yeah. But in the meantime, many of you have probably seen a very, very big, very divisive, very expensive, but very rich movie called Suicide Squad over the weekend, based on DC's ragtag group of good guys gone bad guys, or bad guys gone good guys, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
Brian, we brought you on specifically because you are not just our friend of many years, but the biggest Suicide Squad fan in the world.
Hold on a second. Hold on, because that's one of those things that they always put in YouTube headlines, and
Yeah.
I think that's really bad. But you have a quantifiable fandom of Suicide Squad. What would you say your Suicide Squad scholar credentials are?
So, I really love this team. I own every comic book appearance they've ever made, which is a big nerdy thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking going back way to like the 80s
I'm talking
stuff.
going back to the 1950s.
What?
When the Golden Age Suicide Squad.
I didn't know there was Golden Age
yeah,
Suicide
back in the
Squad.
war comics. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Get on my level.
Okay, apparently I'm not on your level. Clearly I'm not on your level.
But I also edited and curated the Suicide Squad Wikipedia page for the arguably better part of 4 years.
I like how you almost got through that sentence without laughing, but then you did.
Yeah.
So
you had like the most edits on the Suicide Squad Wikipedia page for 4.5 years.
I think I had probably like the only edit.
The only edits, and then obviously DC, the cinematic universe started happening. They announced a movie 2 years ago.
Yep.
Is that when you were kind of like you backed away because all these people, all the Hornets started coming back to the nest?
I probably haven't touched that page since the end of 2014.
Okay.
But
that said, there's a pretty good chance that people like Margot Robbie and Jai Courtney have probably written something that you wrote on Wikipedia while brushing up for their roles.
That's true. People found out they were in that movie and they were like, "Oh, God, I got to learn about this."
What is this crap?
And they read your writing. So what kind of edits did you do in the Suicide Squad Wikipedia page?
well, I learned a lot about Wikipedia, which is that they don't like you to be verbose.
Yeah.
They want you to be real brief. So I would have all these lovely descriptions, like these breakdowns of storylines.
He's cool
and
and he's awesome.
Some career Wikipedian would come in and be like, "Nah,
All right.
you got to shorten that up."
Here we come to now the big elephant in the room, Suicide Squad. Like I said at the top of the show, divisive. It's got a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 7.1 fan score, which most of those reviews were written before the movie came out, but we'll excuse that. And it's making millions and millions of dollars. It's breaking August records.
Yep.
What'd you think?
Man, this is the greatest movie ever made.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
Thanks
It
for
was
coming.
bad.
It was
Now,
really
was
bad.
What do you feel like you were able to enjoy parts of it better because you're closer to the source material, or you felt that it was kind of almost worse because you knew things better? Like, you know what I mean?
I think no matter what your exposure to the comics might have been before the movie, it got a lot of things wrong. Well, I don't want to. It did a lot of things that it could have done a lot better. They messed this movie up.
Okay, so I noticed your tweets when you first got out of the film weren't entirely negative, but it seems like the more you thought about it, the more you didn't like.
That's true. I got out of the movie going like, okay, well, that's not the garbage fire that Batman v Superman was.
Yes.
That was okay. But the more I thought about it, the less sense that it made.
Okay, so let's run through it real quick. The Joker. Did you like him or no?
No, that's the worst Joker that's ever been on film.
Okay.
Which, hey, good job, all that
yeah.
method acting, Jared Leto. That's what it resulted in.
No, do you think that's something that
good
could have been
job.
rectified with more scenes? Because apparently he got a lot of scenes cut and he was really pissed off about it. Do you think that like adding more of a thing you didn't like would have made the whole film better?
The thing that bothered me about the Joker, like, he was completely extraneous to the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the way that this is one of the most iconic pop culture characters, I think, of all time.
Yeah.
And they just sort of are like, here he is in a straitjacket just leering at this woman. That's how they introduce him.
Okay.
It's not...
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I met you. No, so just for context, does the Joker come into play in Suicide Squad in
No.
the comics?
You see his part of kind of Harley Quinn's backstory
Okay.
and whatnot in the more recent comics.
I mean, Harley Quinn's a recent enough character. She's 1991?
92.
92 in the animated series.
Right.
So she's not a classic Suicide Squad character at all.
Okay.
She's been a mainstay in it since their relaunch in 2011, though.
So, I mean, obviously they had to shift some things around to make certain characters the star of this film. The Joker, Deadshot, Harley Quinn were obviously pushed front and center. Mostly
Deadshot, that's legit. He's one of the stars of the squad.
Did you like Will Smith in the movie as Deadshot?
I thought he was funny. I can get off into the weeds about how they humanized that character a little too much.
Right.
But I was pleasantly surprised by him.
So what did you think of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn?
She was great.
She was great.
She's
okay,
great.
So there's some positives here, right?
Some of the there are little moments you can look at to be like, oh, it's funny when Deadshot said the thing, or they're just little moments. They're like, that's cool.
It made some great trailers.
Yeah.
The
And
movie-
it made excellent trailers.
So that's kind of the way I've been describing this is sort of, it feels like going to a buffet where you're like, well, there's French fries and there's pizza and there's, Chinese food. And you're like, I like all of those things individually, but like, we're like, were the French fries the best French fries you've ever had? No, not really. Was the pizza good? No, it wasn't good. But it was a combination of a lot of interesting, well shot, and sometimes cool or funny moments that didn't really come together as a whole film.
When you look at the big picture of this film and its structure and how it kind of treats the squad, it's just not, the finished product is not good.
So what were your problems with the plot specifically?
Well, my biggest problem is that the movie fundamentally botches the concept of the Suicide Squad.
What is the concept of the Suicide Squad? Like,
the Suicide Squad is a group of supervillains that are sent by the government on covert, high-risk, international political missions that the U.S. government does not want to be implicated in.
okay.
So like in the very first comic, they send them to basically fight DC equivalent of superpowered Al Qaeda.
Okay.
Because they're like, they're going to blow up an airport and kill the president.
Yep.
We're going to send them in quietly.
So it's
'cause
a
this
little
is
bit
hot
like
zone.
Snake Plissken from Escape from New York, or
It's very much
Big
that.
Boss in Metal Gear Solid, other Snake.
Mission Impossible,
Okay.
Dirty Dozen. It's that kind of scenario.
It's like 12 dudes who are all escaped from New York.
right.
Yeah.
And this one dude who's like their babysitter.
Right. Right.
And in the movie, they take these guys and are like, okay, you got to go fight the supervillain, and they send them in with a team of trained soldiers.
okay.
So I don't understand why instead of sending the man who throws boomerangs
Yep.
and the crazy woman with the bat, you don't just send in 10 more guys with guns.
Okay, so to be totally honest, I think this
get it.
This movie had a major villain problem in that it didn't really establish a villain well. Enchantress just sort of started messing things up, and her brother Incubus, who isn't really truly named outside of a half a second.
Right.
And then the idea of taking this like ancient Mayan god and her brother and sending a crazy bipolar one with a baseball bat and a crocodile man in a hoodie who doesn't really do anything to take her
Right.
down, it doesn't really make
Right.
any sense.
I mean, the villain is basically like, the humans don't like us anymore because they got iPhones. So we're just gonna sit here in this Mega Man boss robot room and spawn bad guys until everybody gets here to fight.
Yeah.
The villain doesn't do anything.
Well, and that's a problem when you don't have a good characterization or a threat or a reasoning from a villain or from the opposition, the protagonist or the antagonist. None of them really have a clear direction. You're left with just a bunch of like scenes that equal a film that just ends.
Scenes happen.
So for people who maybe like the idea of Suicide Squad, the movie didn't really do it for them. Where do they go? What's your number one recommendation for new fans to the fans of the series, fans of the idea?
Well, I have this right here for you.
Oh, look at that! It's almost like we
Up at
sort of
noon.
planned this show.
It's brought to you by DC Comics.
No,
That's
it's
not true.
No,
That's
it's
not true.
not.
Pay
It's
us
not.
to
They're pretty mad at us
They'd
right
be
now.
really
honestly.
pissed off.
Yeah,
No.
if they
Okay,
watch
no.
this show, I
So-
don't think
Brought to you
they have
by Pizza Whistles. It says it right there.
So this comic, this is Suicide Squad Rebirth #1. This
Okay.
came out a couple weeks ago at this point, and This is the single greatest issue of Suicide Squad in
Really?
at least the past 8 years.
So that's awesome then, because
This, if you want a look at what the Suicide Squad can be, this is a perfect, like, crystallized 22-page story that will show you its potential.
So we kind of have the movie to thank for this rebirth in Suicide Squad, which led to your favorite comic. So that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right.
If people want something more substantial, would you recommend the New 52 line?
I did not like the New 52 Suicide Squad.
Okay.
I recommend going back and reading John Ostrander's 80s run. They're available in trades.
Now, Ryan, we want to keep you on for one more little conversation here because Suicide Squad, obviously, as we talked about, divisive between fans and critics, but it was also a little divisive between fans. One in particular, a fan who is suing the makers of the Suicide Squad for a lack of Joker, for what he meant, or was led to believe, was a movie that was really about the Joker. How do you feel about that? Yeah, I know.
So for context here, it's not just that he was misled in that he thought that the movie would have more of one thing. They leaned pretty heavily on putting the Joker front and center, to the point that they also showed a lot of stuff in the trailers that was not in the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, they did, yeah.
And
There were a lot of scenes.
I feel like kind of common, like Force Awakens did it, but it wasn't like
it wasn't half the stuff in the trailer.
Yeah.
Right. I'll be completely honest. I think that's kind of gross and disingenuous. And I would say the same thing for Star Wars. If there were a bunch of scenes in Force Awakens or in Rogue One or Episode 8 that are in the trailer that aren't in the film, like, that's cool. Show me that stuff when the movie's done, when it's out already. You know, like, don't tell me this is a bunch of stuff that's going to be on my sandwich and it's not there.
Well, hey, I think that speaks to whatever went on behind the scenes that resulted in that final edit.
Yeah. But on the flip side, we also had that boycott of Rotten Tomatoes, which is...
Yeah, it's the same guy, right?
It's got to be the same guy.
I hope he gets his life in order.
So do you think he's in the right on this one?
Do you?
No, well...
Oh, yeah, he's totally got a point.
I'm Italian. We don't sue, we just, hurt people.
So, first of all, for anybody who thought the Joker was going to be, it was going to be about him, I refer you to all the scenes in the trailer that show him interacting with no one else from the cast.
Yeah.
So there's that, and also, I don't think the court's going to see it your way, man.
Well, you know who did see it his way is Jared Leto, because all those interviews came out where he was basically saying, I shot a lot of stuff for this movie. Hopefully it gets out there someday. My version would be R-rated. And then David Ayers came out in an interview and he said, there actually is no R-rated cut of this. So it seems like the competing cuts, which we heard stories about, and the last-minute reshoots and rewrites and stuff like that, led a lot of people, not only fans, but also people involved in the making of the film, to think that this movie would actually be very different than the one we saw. In fact, Jared said in his original script that he's actually a reoccurring thing throughout the entire film as a secondary threat to the movie. You have Enchantress on one side trying to take down the squad.
Thank God they fixed that.
Right, and then you have the Joker coming in who's constantly trying to kidnap Harley Quinn, take her away from the movie, and bring her off to his own film that he thought he was making.
That sounds honestly kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like he's just showing up with goofy giant nets and he's like, Harley, I'm here for you. And she's
and that's...
Not now, Mr. J, I'm on a mission.
That would have been great, but his version didn't have a net. His version had a truck and a gun, and he just showed up like a pit bull who just very brash and brazenly would bash through walls and be like, ha, ha, ha.
He did spend the entire movie growling like a dog, so...
You know, the more I saw of his character, the less I wanted to actually know about it, because we did catch that one scene where he's laying on the floor of his hotel, surrounded by iPads and 12 different laptops. They're all on, I believe, different eBay websites for clown clothes. Yeah. And then in the corner, there's baby clothes and knives. He's like, baby clothes, because apparently, and weird theory behind this, but apparently, him and Harley Quinn had a miscarriage?
That is a theory, yeah. That echoes a comic storyline where she reveals she has a kid and he doesn't know about it.
Did you read the thing about the damage thing across his head? About why he got that tattoo in prison? Because the Batman punched out his teeth for killing Robin. Do you know about that whole theory?
See, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there.
It's not in the movie, so I don't...
and that people be like, "There's alternate cuts. It's gonna explain." No,
I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
This is all based on what's in the movie. I don't care about any alternate cuts.
Do you know how, when they made Anchorman, they shot so much extra footage that they made a second movie out of it?
Have you seen that film?
Yeah,
Wake Up Ron Burgundy.
I haven't seen the second part.
Chuck D plays a bad guy in it. It's a weird movie. It's actually totally interesting because it's a completely separate film with a completely separate plot. It's not even we learn more about this character. There's a completely different motivation in the film. It's about these 70s gangsters that are bank robbers.
Yeah.
Like, and it cuts into stuff that's in the film every now and then. I don't know if there's a version of Suicide Squad that exists
I
that's
think it'd be
like
really
that.
cool if there was.
Yeah.
And somebody can just, up the brightness for that whole movie, so it's.
Well,
you can see
anyway,
what's going on.
Ryan, thank you so much for coming on. Suicide Squad obviously is something we're going to be talking about for a long time on this show because there might be more cuts. We like to track to see how this movie does. It's doing really well in theaters right now, but who knows if it's going to have the same drop off or the legs of something like Civil War. Right now, the Rotten Tomatoes is at 26%. The audience doesn't think it's that bad. Critics do, but we can all agree that what we're about to watch is one of the worst things we've ever seen in our entire lives. Max and I did some research, and we found the worst game on PS4.
Wait, before that, hold up. You do a comics podcast, right?
Oh, yeah.
I do a bunch of podcasts.
Yeah, let's talk about
What are
that
they
real quick.
called?
We have a comic podcast called The Comic Conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
I have a geek culture podcast called The Geek Box. We do a little comedy podcast you might have heard of called The Comedy Button. You can find all of that at www.geekbox.net.
That's right.
You can follow me on Twitter at Rydog.
Yeah, you know it's nerdy because it's a .net. On that note, let's take a look at this really, really awful game. It's terrible.
Just the worst.
Hey everyone, it's me, Brian Altano, and this is Max Scoville, and this is Inner Kung Fu Game.
This is a PlayStation 4 game. You can buy it on your PlayStation 4. I don't know how this is here.
Back, down.
This is the game, I think.
Are you farting
No,
bubbles?
Not correct.
What?
Yeah.
Not correct.
It's everywhere, don't do anything.
What?
Correct. It's everywhere, don't do anything.
What?
It's down in front.
So I think we're supposed to learn how to...
Correct.
Are you
No,
supposed to
not
hit
correct.
the
I think...
the button
No,
to
not
correspond? This is one of the worst games I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yep. So the game... there is a...
No, not correct.
Stop saying that.
It's in the space in front of you. Correct. It's everywhere, don't do anything.
I'm not joking. This is, I think, the worst PlayStation game currently.
How do you get this on the PS4 and no?
Correct.
This is like I understand Steam because it's a Wild West over there, or even like the
No,
iPhone,
not
but
correct. No, not correct.
it's serious.
No, not correct.
Is it
No,
like a move
not
game and we don't have the...
why don't you
No,
change his
not
skin
correct.
tone? That's a thing we
No,
can do.
Not correct. No.
He's
not
literally just
correct.
saying...
No.
You have to do the thrust with the ball. That is not correct. Do a ball
What is
humper.
this game? What is this? What are you doing?
I invest in other people's projects. It is valuable to be able to isolate the muscles down in. I am not going to try and help me while I'm falling apart. I'm going to go to sleep now. Thank you for watching. None. Oh, look at those. He's working those glums down
What's
there.
wrong with his weird... Is he wearing, like, clothes under his skin? Like, what is... What the...
This is $3.99. This is a
The left
$4
side
game.
Takes and gives.
What?
Another person, you.
What?
Relax, return to neutral.
I mean... I guess it's... Trying to-
Yang, left. Yin left.
What?
Yang, wind.
What?
Yin, wind.
What the hell is this game?
Thinking.
Are you...
Relax, return to neutral. Fire element.
What?
Talking.
What?
Wind element. Thinking.
How is this on a PlayStation Store?
I don't understand.
Get your hands
this.
out of there.
Wind element. Thinking.
Is this like a... Is this like a viral promotion
Cool
for
off.
some other
Return
game?
to
I don't
neutral.
understand.
I limit my current expenses.
This game sucks.
I feel okay about...
Talking.
I
No,
guess
I
it's-
don't. I don't feel okay about buying this game.
I give some of my money to you? What are you saying?
It's down in front of you. No, not correct. It's
This looks like those, Like-
I'm so mad at how bad this is.
This is so good. I
What
love
is
it.
these balls on his arms?
Why'd that one get so big?
What the?
This looks like those commercials for acid reflux, except the balls are outside of his body.
I can't. Anyway, this is the worst game on PS4. It's called Inner Kung Fu Game. It doesn't have any kung fu. Like none. You can't do any kicks.
No, not correct.
No, not correct.
No, not correct.
This is a bad,
No,
bad,
correct.
bad game.
Correct.
What?
It's
I'm sorry. It's
not
back.
correct. No,
All right.
not
Yeah. So there you go.
correct.
That's this game. If you can figure this game out,
No, not correct.
no.
Great.
No, not correct. I
Not
hope.
correct.
Can you name a worse game on PS4? No, not correct. You can't.
Space in front of
What the?
you.
This is
No,
off.
Not correct.
I give up.
No, not correct.
So that's legitimately the worst game on PS4.
Yeah,
if you can find a better, worse game on PS4, please
Please let us know.
Send it to us, 'cause
I
we
think
wanna play
that's the
that one
worst
too.
one. Isaac, that's at Hemper Needs Help on Twitter, says, "How the hell did you find this game?" It was actually just in the new releases section, like front and center. And the weird thing that we didn't show you is what is it called again? Kung Fu.
Inner Kung Fu game.
Inner Kung Fu game, but the actual icon for it on my PS4 that I think is going to just be there forever says IKFG, just like Ukufuju. And it's just there forever now.
It's really, I can't help but feel like maybe there's like, that's a PT or something. Like that's
Yeah.
like, it's promoting something way cooler, but anyway.
It's this year's QWOP.
So we like to talk about the Star Wars on
Yep.
this show, and unfortunately, we have to wait until tonight to talk about new Star Wars stuff. There's going to be a Rogue One, a Star Wars trailer dropping during the Olympics.
Yeah.
We've seen one trailer, we've seen one teaser, one trailer, and then like that
And then
behind the scenes thing.
Yeah, and then there was a teaser for this trailer. There was a trailer for this trailer that launched the other day.
Because here we are. That's,
where we got the first cool shot of that robot man. And
Yeah. Now here's the question: do you want to see this? Like, I feel like with Force Awakens, we were still so in the dark about what this was about.
Yeah.
You know, but like this takes place 5 minutes before A New Hope.
So let me put it this way: do I want to see this? Do I want to see this movie? Yes, more than anything
course.
this year. Do I want to see this trailer? No. Will I watch it? Yes. Do I look at the side of a bag of cheddar goldfish and go, "Oh, recommended servings"? Just all right, cool, and then keep eating? Yes.
Well, clearly.
Yes, it sucks. And so it's like I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I know we've seen too much, and I know I'm going to keep looking because I love looking at Star Wars because it's just fun to look at. But this is a little different than Episode 7 or Episode 8 because I know how this movie ends. It ends with A New Hope. It ends with the Star Wars trilogy beginning. It ends they've already said this ends 5 minutes before A New Hope. They said Han Solo's not in it. They said Darth Vader is in it. So we'll get a shot of him front and center. This might be the stuff they showed at Comic-Con, like with some extra few angles gone in that you and I watched, like that tilted, crappy cell phone video of it.
I'm skeptical about this. My big issue with The Force Awakens is that you go back and watch all of the old Star Wars movies, and they're so visually dense. Like there's so much going on in them, and all of it's kind of like, here's a new world. Here's stuff you've never seen before, and like there'd be like screen grabs from Revenge of the Sith that'll have like weird like binary load lifters going on behind the background. Stuff that I never saw when I had that on like VHS. I had to wait until like I got it on Blu-ray and I could look really closely, and then I go on Wikipedia to find out what that stuff was. Like, I love the density of Star Wars, and I feel like The Force Awakens didn't really scratch that itch. We got like a little bit of that in Maz's castle, but the rest of the movie pretty much was like familiar concepts. It's the Millennium Falcon, it's just dirtier, and they've got a new roof dish. What is it? The place where Rey goes to get those like gummy worms or whatever. Like, it's just kind of like a low-budget version of Mos Espa. And it's fine, and I'm really excited to see what they're doing with Episode 8, because I think Episode 8 is going to have to really shake stuff up to get people more excited. Rogue One, because it is so close to something we are familiar with, I think it's going to have more of that like in-depth stuff. Like, we're going to get we've already seen new vehicles. We've already seen like new aliens. I mean, that's it. Like, Force Awakens had X-Wings and TIE Fighters. Like, they had like a couple new ships, but it wasn't as... If you look at the difference between all the other movies, they always add new ships, and you're like, oh, those are cool ships. I want to get toy of that.
Well, I think if you took the planets and lined them up, right? Like you take Jakku and you put it next to Tatooine. I think the stuff that we saw in Tatooine, especially once they get to the Cantina area, is so like you totally nailed it. It's visually dense and it's packed with cool stuff. And then they did special editions, which had even more nonsense, like that powerlifting guy, and that weird dinosaur, and all the rats.
Yeah, and so that stuff's there, but I feel like I've already scrubbed through Force Awakens enough to kind of get what I wanted.
Yeah,
I feel like Rogue One could totally just be full of that stuff. Like I'm hoping they're going to throw in like weird kind of like what if Boba Fett walks by in the background? That could be a thing. We've already heard that Han Solo isn't in it. We are going to see Darth Vader. That said, I'm really afraid that seeing more in the trailer will ruin that experience for me in the theater.
Yes.
Because this is so close to stuff that we are familiar with.
So I think there's the idea of this not really being for us. and I think that's why it's airing during the Olympics tonight specifically, is that people need to see this movie and they need to know what it is. And I think it's very hard to send that message. Like, I think Disney's got kind of an interesting challenge in front of them, and it's a challenge they'll totally take on and ace. But the idea of a bunch of people being like, I just saw episode 7. I took my kids to see it. They dressed up as Rey for her, for their costume party or whatever the hell, and they have all the toys. I can't wait to see the new Star Wars movie. Where's BB-8? Oh, what about Chewbacca?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Who's
This
that? It's an Asian guy, and then there's a troll.
This is easily the ballsiest Star Wars movie in terms of like what it is.
Totally.
I mean, you look at it like Episode 1 was like a crazy concept, but it's also pretty easy to elevator pitch that. You're like, hey, this is about what made Darth Vader become Darth Vader.
Yep.
This is about that email that they send Princess Leia at the beginning of a movie from 1977.
Yep.
Like, that's
also
the transmission they intercept. Like,
also, canonically, Episode 1 in the title dictated that it's the first Star Wars story. Rogue One is the 4th Star Wars story going into the 5th.
Yep.
So it's a challenge, but it's a challenge we want to see Disney take on because it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to see this movie. And you know what? I'm not watching the Olympics because I don't care about the Olympics, but I will watch this trailer. Because
yeah, we're going to watch this trailer.
I don't understand
we
serving
have brain
sizes.
damage.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's a movie that came out pretty recently, and it sucks. Think I'm talking about Suicide Squad?
Nope.
I'm not, because I don't want to make you mad. The movie's called 9 Lives. It's about a cat. It's got Kevin Spacey. It's got Jennifer Garner. It's got Christopher Walken. Why'd you put that there?
Can we just pause to enjoy that?
Oh, pause. Good one.
How unfortunate.
Shut up. Anyway, this is directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, who's made good movies. He made Men in Black. Yeah. Our producer is really outraged right now. It is currently sitting at a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes, which means that very few people enjoyed it critically.
Which means it couldn't even get to the 9, which is in the title.
Exactly. 44% of audience members liked it, which is still pretty bad. And that's accounting for the fact that it's a family film and that a lot of the people who see it are probably children and parents who aren't going on Rotten Tomatoes to be like, I didn't like this.
Yes, and quick aside, can we use that right there as proof that the audience score is pretty much meaningless on websites like this? Like, it really is. I'm sorry. But if this is 44%, half of the audience are like, I like the movie with the cat. You're wrong.
Anyway, so yeah, let's take a look at some of the little sound bites from critics about this just god-awful movie that I kind of want to see because it sounds like an actual car accident.
Yep.
For starters, the young folks, I don't know who that is, they said no matter how little you move or how much you try to block it out, it still manages to be an unpleasant experience.
Wow. First of all, yeah. Second of all, nice font, Max.
Thanks. It's called Cheeseburger.
Are you starting a hippie ice cream store?
I was trying to make words that looked as much like cat poop as possible. Yeah, the running time for this, I was trying to check it there, it's 86 minutes. It's not a long movie, so for it to be unbearable is pretty impressive. Next up, the script is out to pasture, neglecting to address the interior lives of all of its characters and failing to deliver a single good punchline from The Guardian. I feel like the fact that they use the term interior lives in regards to a film about a cat and a man switching places or something is sort of like overkill. Like, I mean, it's funny to see professional critics actually trying to dissect something this stupid.
Yeah.
To add insult to injury, the film actually opens with a montage of renowned cat videos, Entertainment Weekly. Yeah, I mean that's kind of sad.
Can we talk real quick? This movie has Kevin Spacey, Jennifer Garner, Robbie Amell, Cheryl Hines, Christopher Walken's in this movie. Like, there's a damn good cast. A lot of people got burlap sacks dragged over their heads and pulled into the back of a van to get forced at gunpoint to make this turd.
This is one of those ones, I don't know if people thought this was a quick paycheck or if they owed somebody money and that person was like, you gotta be in my cat film. But yeah, this one I like. Very little of it makes sense, even when accounting for human-feline mind swaps, and everything is cheap from the recycled gags to the small, cramped sets and shortage of background extras. Even like random struggling actors with no jobs didn't want to be in this film. Like, you can get people to be in movies for free if you're like, hey, show up here, we'll give you a sandwich. And they were like, we're making a movie about
mind swapping some cats. You want to come down to stand around behind us? And
You know what sucks about that too? Like when we had Key and Peele on the show talking about Keanu, which is an actually funny, really good movie about cats. They talked about how there were cats just walking around the set the entire time, and they had to have like 7 different cats to play one role because there was a sleepy one, a perky one, like dwarves basically.
all right. All right. Less funny than the average cat gif and approximately 1,000 times as long from IndieWire.
God.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to enjoy something involving a cat, it's like the internet's there for you. You don't need to pay money to go see Christopher Walken. But the best qualities of this family comedy are that it doesn't exceed 90 minutes and gives Christopher Walken a chance to say the words poopy box.
I'm into that.
See, now I'm actually kind of, like, I'm really curious. I'm
Yeah.
sold. So I'm kind
Curiosity killed the cat, Max, so
Yeah.
be careful.
Oh, there's nothing funnier than a dead cat. I don't know what that means.
It's not a quote. It's not a quote.
There's more than one way to hit a cat with your car. It's not that 9 Lives is terrible, it's that it's not terrible enough from Christy Lemire. I have no idea who that is. This is something I want to point out is that some of the worst movies are the ones that aren't bad enough. I love a lot of really bad movies because they're enjoyably bad and you're like, this isn't a comedy on purpose, but here we are. It's the ones that walk that fine line, like that are just, like John Carter of Mars isn't a good movie, and it's not a bad movie either. It's just an incredibly expensive, kind of boring movie.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah, so I mean, if it was bad, it'd be more fun. That's why I like Avatar, because it's bad and fun. A Frankenstein's Monster of Hollywood's Worst Instincts, a movie made with a math formula where its vision should have been, the fact of the matter is that you're going to need 9 wines to endure 9 lives. And now I'm getting kind of really interested. I'm like, this could be a fun, drunk movie.
9 wines.
Forgettable comedy that has more drinking than you'd expect from Common Sense.
The Rapper.
Yeah, sure. I like it. I'm
Great.
sold. 9 Lives, critics are talking about it, and I want to see it. Cat films.
Sounds like the cat's out of the bag, and he dumped in it.
All right. So, No Man's Sky came out, in case you've been living in a weird procedurally generated cave full of green snails. And it's really hotly anticipated, and as such, the critical response and the public response are everywhere.
It's all over the place. This is a weird game to review. Okay, there it is. That's a 67 on Metacritic, popular aggregate review website. So what that does is it takes all the highs and lows of everything and mashes them together. It gives you 1 score. This number is going to change a lot over the next few days, but we thought we'd give a little pulse on what's happening right now. Our review here at IGN hasn't gone up yet. It will be up probably today, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is a tough one to talk about because A, you've got the idea that this game was made by 14 people. B, it's probably one of the most ambitious video games ever made. C, it's procedurally generated, so not every experience that everyone has with it will be exactly the same at any given moment. And I don't know exactly where I'm on it yet. I put in probably about 5 or 6 hours. You've done about the same, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, and to me, it's like hovering around a 7 out of 10. It's doing a lot well. It's sort of like muddled and confusing. I think the UI is kind of clunky. I think the controls and the combat aren't great. But landing on a planet that I've never seen before is
really
exhilarating.
Cool.
Like
it's also, how do you quantify something that is by definition unquantifiable?
Yes.
It is an infinite, endless, possible bunch of variations. Like there's this clip of a giant, like massive planet-sized snake slithering by. If I encountered that, I'd be incredibly excited. But so far, I've seen just these ugly little hippopotamus men.
Yeah.
So like, and other people have seen way cooler monsters than me. We're gonna get to that in a minute. But like, here, let's take a look at some of the critical responses. PlayStation Lifestyle has given it a 90.
Yeah.
That's real nice. That's
Yeah, they
a good
like
one.
it. You know, they basically said if this game is right for you, you won't be able to put the controller down, which I think is so true.
It's really every single game.
And it's also, and it's worth mentioning that it feels a lot like Minecraft and Destiny, in that the version we're playing right now is going to be very different in a year. I think they'll do some tweaks to controls, make the systems a little easier to interact with.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
Destructoid. No Man's Sky isn't quite what I thought it would be. It's a fun sandbox game. I think isn't quite what I thought it would be is one of the biggest things going against this, is that we were sold on a very, very high concept thing. And it still is high concept, but the actual thing that's in the box is kind of
Yeah, I would. Can you go back to that real quick? I like that quote at the end. I wouldn't recommend No Man's Sky if you don't like getting lost, but for those of you who do, wander away. Yeah. So I think like what you said too is a sort of Sean Murray talking about the multiplayer features of this game and how two players might never meet each other, but then they did on the first day, and we don't know if it's because of server issues or not that they didn't actually see each other.
Right.
But on the back of the box, it's kind of implied that you can. So
Yeah.
we'll see if that grows or if they're just being disingenuous.
Yep, we got this covered. Gave it a 7.2. Yeah, I mean that seems to
Bold
be kind of
experiment
what
in
it's-
game design, and they're glad they took the opportunity to make it. Yeah, so I think that like you can appreciate something without saying it's perfect, but I'm really glad this game exists. You know, I think this is like a good,
Yeah.
great job on the
Yeah, these
the
are
transitions.
cool. These are
really
real good.
Can we
Yeah.
do that again?
Yeah, let's do that one.
One more time. Bring it in.
Oh,
bring it.
yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, look at that, a new one.
Yeah.
Attack of the Fanboy, give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, most anticipated, somewhat of a letdown. That's a very key thing, is that high expectations are the root of crashing disappointment. We were all really excited about this,
Yeah.
critics included, and it's sort of like if they'd been a little bit less.
See, and I like that about the game is ambitious, but what's left is a middling survival crafting game. That's
Yeah.
really what it's like. I mean, with all of the beauty and all of the sort of inspiration of traveling this universe, what you're really doing day to day and moment to moment isn't incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
But a lot of those things come together to make an interesting experience that I actually really like.
Yeah. My good pal Jim Sterling at the
What's up, Jim?
Jimquisition. Hi, Jim. I don't think he watches our show. Hi, Jim. Even with my expectations guarded, however, I did not expect just another survival crafting game that used randomization as a crutch to the point of losing all potential personality, and I at least expected more to F-wording do.
Yeah. Side note, they No Man's Sky fans DDoSD Jim's website because of this review.
Yeah, that's great.
Don't do that. Like, that's
yeah.
kind of irresponsible.
Yeah.
Like, this is a beautiful game about exploring the universe and meeting
You know,
animals.
it could have also been over something else Jim said. He does say some things.
Yeah.
He wants to
So,
defend
yeah.
some bad films in his movie Defense Force.
So that's where critics are on No Man's Sky right now. You're probably playing it. Use the hashtag #UpAtNoon and let us know what you think about it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? I think I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to see where it goes. This is going to be a universe that grows and expands for
Yeah.
a long time. So
I want to
let's
see
what
more
happens.
of those ugly hippopotamus boys.
Speaking of
Find out
which,
what they're up to.
In the meantime, people are finding some really weird, really disgusting, really nasty-looking creatures in No Man's Sky because the entire game is procedurally generated, and so are the animals
Yeah.
and the wildlife.
They're the worst.
People are finding some weird things. So we thought we'd take a look at some of the ugliest creatures in No Man's Sky so far, and Max and I, on the fly, are going to give them brand new names because
Yeah.
you can name animals in this game, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, starting with Mike Mamone, who is actually, I think, sitting in the studio back there, probably
Yeah.
controlling those cool wipes on the screen. Please stop.
There it is.
Okay, so this is Potato Bag. That's all right. I think Potato Bag is...
He's like an eyeball turd with candy corn coming out of it.
yeah.
So let's call him Candy Corn Poop Bag.
I was going to say Rustic Satchel.
All right, next.
Oh.
Ooh, Twinkle Toes from Brendan Graber right here at IGN.
No. I know what this one's called. This one's called Leg Day.
Leg Day?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Yeah, Leg Day. There you go.
What about yoga shorts?
Yeah, oh. Biker pants. Oh.
Oh,
ooh.
God.
Giant jackalope.
Jackalope, yeah.
Francoise.
Tungus the Jackalope.
Oh, hello everyone, it's me, Francoise.
I'm here
Look at those nasty fingers. I don't like that one bit.
Good night, Tungus.
Oh,
All right. Here we have Ballsack Calliope.
wow, yeah, that is definitely Ballsack Calliope.
I come to your party, please?
Hi everybody, it's me, the worst thing you've ever seen with your eyes. I've seen more with 4 of my eyes.
Tickly Tommy.
This looks like they lobotomized an Octobrain.
Yeah,
from Duke
this is
Nukem.
from Destin Legary, who's played, I think, like 100 hours of this game so
He
far.
actually called in sick because he's seen this thing in the game.
I asked him
Doesn't
to.
wanna come in anymore.
I asked IGN to send us pictures of the monsters they've been finding in this game, and Destin was like, "Ooh, do I have some or what?" And he just sent us hundreds.
Yep. So we've blocked him. Then there's this one, which is basically
Oh, Salad Fingers Tyrannosaur.
this is Madonna the Deathclaw.
I don't like this one at all. He's got Greedo hands.
I know the only thing worse than this, imagining this thing existing, is imagining it just eating a bunch of Flamin' Hot Cheetos and then licking that red stuff off its hands real slowly.
Oh God, he's holding 7
Yeah.
pencils.
Yeah, this is the 1998 Godzilla's awful cousin, Richard.
Can I come over and play the piano?
Oh, look at
All
this.
right, Patrick Miner, a Beyond fan, found this. He called it Beyondite.
Nope, that's Pocket Flaps.
I don't.
All right.
Oh man. Oh, look at this disgusting bird burglar. Oh, he looks like he's got chicken wing arms. Don't you want to eat part of this guy? I would fry this dude and eat him. This is from Stefan Moody. Thank you, Stefan, for that nasty little boy.
This is Burn Victim Bandicoot. Car Crash Bandicoot.
There we go. Next up, Douglas T. Warren III. Look at this turd puppet. Kill me!
That looks like if they took the space slug from Empire Strikes Back and they were like, I'm taking you to prom, and it's like, oh, I've always wanted to go to prom. Get me a cute dress.
They gave him a bow tie. All right, next. Oh! Oh, man, it's a prolapsed chicken dog.
Jesus.
That's awful.
Thanks, John Murray.
All right.
Oh, my God, that's awful. Oh, Kendall Arias brings us this.
Oh, that's Carl.
This
Carl.
Squiggler. Ooh,
Just
this
Carl.
Squiggler creeping around.
Zach wants to call him Carl.
Ooh.
Okay, look at this sneaky boy.
Ooh.
Are those his hands in the front? Can you please put them food in my fingers? I need to
Oh,
feed myself.
God. Uncle Tetherballs. Okay. Oh, God. Marty Sleva.
Your rent is due.
Hey,
That'll be
everybody,
$40.
Can you believe I have a hard time finding shoes that fit my messed up claw feet?
What if I told you that over thousands of gallons of pasta water are wasted every year?
Oh, stop it.
Oh, God. Johnny Muhammad brought us this
it's
awful dog.
Clifford the Big Red Hellscape Nightmare Animal.
Dude, this looks like the Luck Dragon, but with burn marks.
Ugh. God.
Oh, my God, awful.
Maybe you shouldn't make procedurally generated animals.
Yeah. Yikes.
Okay, I like that
All right,
one.
he's okay.
pretty
Backpack elk.
good. Backpack elk, okay.
Oh, man. Okay, John Murray got us this. This is another
I think we
chicken
should
wing
call
gazette.
this one... It's got some umlauts in there.
Yeah, this is fart body,
John
leg
Murray,
bottom.
Stop using that share button. It's awful.
I don't like it at all. And then finally,
I
Dan
haven't-
Cool. I like this guy.
I keep seeing this one a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He looks like a dinosaur. I think he's Duncan.
The squatopotamus.
Yeah, I think he's pooping right now. He's like, you caught me in the middle of my sharts again. Leave me alone. This is
How
my
dare
shark
you?
cave. Get out of my cave.
All right.
Oh, yeah, and then Matt Poke. This is actually a tree.
This is Tiffany Lamp.
This is from... a lot of the animals in No Man's Sky look like what would happen if a lava lamp smoked itself.
Pretty much. Nautically themed family fish restaurant.
Yeah, so thank you, Matt Poquiz, and everybody
Yeah.
else who sent us these awful, awful monsters and aliens. Plenty more to come with No Man's Sky because there's thousands of worlds out there, and they're all full of turd goblins.
Yeah, if you got disgusting animals from that awful game, please send them to us. Use the hashtag #UpAtNoon.
Yeah.
And we'll check that and get real scared and upset. On that
Speaking of a procedurally generated nightmare world, the Olympics are here.
yeah.
Everyone's favorite time to go in a hotel that was just finished 3 days ago.
Over 5 different colored rings for you to check out, I guess.
Yeah, the Olympics. What a weird thing. People
Yeah.
from all over the world compete at things that are just why. I mean, I get it. It's fun, but it's stuff like who can throw the ball and try not to drown.
Yeah.
And don't get blood everywhere.
It's like when your dad walks in and he's like, oh, video games. I used to play board games back in my day. We had all the best ones like Parcheesi and that one with the squares. And you're like, well, that's great, but we've got better stuff now. It's like, we've got jet boat racing. Why do we have to do the one where you throw a sphere? And that note,
Yeah,
they
if
do
you-
make Olympics video games for reasons that we're not quite sure of.
If you couldn't make it to the 2016 Olympics, there's a couple games you can play at home that are just as weird as Rio.
Yeah, they might give you less diseases, probably.
So let's take a look at some of the weirdest Olympics games, video games of all time, starting with World Class Track Meet in 1988.
Yeah.
Now, this is a pretty straightforward Olympics video game, right? It's
Literally
got-
the most straightforward, just run in a straight line.
Yeah, now the weird thing about this game is it used a giant thing called the power pad to interact with, which if you had neighbors, they hated you for. It was a giant plastic pad with air inside of it
Yep.
that you would stampede on.
It was like a DDR pad, but if you had a broken DDR pad and you were trying to figure out if it worked.
Yes, 100%. Now, the weirdest thing about this game is that you fought animal people that looked like humans but had animal names. Now, turtles and bobcats and horses aren't actually allowed. Yeah, they're not actually allowed in the Olympics, but World Class Track Meet let you fight or race people depending on how fast their animals are in real life. So you started with turtle and you went up to horse. I don't think anyone ever beat cheetah without getting on their hands and knees and pounding on the pad with both their hands, which is a sentence I just got to say.
Yeah, there you go. Then, of course, there's this awful thing. I love how every year someone gets hired and a bunch of money gets thrown around for disgusting plushies, and there are different bids for a mascot for the Olympics.
Yep.
And one of these particular ones was Izzy. who's only memorable because of this video game of Izzy's quest for the Olympic rings.
Yeah, this was in that great quest to build mascot characters constantly in the 90s. This came out for the Sega Genesis. If you ever wondered how the rings got in that logo, guess what? A little crap monster went around and fought smaller crap monsters to find him. So there's that.
Ugh, God.
Up next, we've got the Nagano Winter Olympics. Not going to play that game.
We went to a place called Nagano Sushi.
And we're not going to go back there either.
Yeah. He's just
Per Schneider, who's
Stop
actually one of the top guys here at IGN, one of the founders of IGN, reviewed this game. He didn't like it. It's not good. You know why? Because it's bad. Next,
there you go.
Caveman Olympics.
Yeah, they have all the favorite caveman games such as delivering a baby and
Husband throwing.
foot massage.
Next, what do we got here? Oh, QWOP.
Yeah, QWOP's a good one. Go
QWOP
play
is
that
an
on your
awesome
browser
game.
right now. That's a fine one.
QWOP is named after the 4 keys you use to play it with, which are Q, W, O, and P.
Yeah, and one of the new swear words you'll invent while trying to play it.
I would watch the Olympics every day if they were like real life QWOP because it's about walking or running and it's almost impossible to do without falling over and looking like you're trying to lick your own ankles.
Yep, there you go. I'm
And
glad you said
finally,
ankles.
one that came out this year, one of the weirdest games of all time, Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympics Games. Obviously, Mario and Sonic are back. They hated each other in the 90s, but they got together to play fun things like the Olympics. But more importantly,
My favorite Olympic event is when a large man tries to kill a horse with his with his immense girth.
yeah, when a large farting Italian who loves gold tries to kill a horse with his back and ass.
I'm gonna win.
I'm gonna kill a horse.
I really want to play this game. This
I really do too. So those are the 6 weirdest Olympics games ever made. Oh man, there's some really bad ones.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be alive if you love
No,
the
it's
Olympics.
not.
No, it's definitely not.
It's a terrible time. All right, so it's actually kind of a bad time to be alive in general. We just recently figured that out.
Yeah.
We got this thing called the newspaper, and it's the scariest bunch of pages I've read in a while. You found an awful, terrifying thing.
Yeah, kind of an Earthwatch science site at Vice called Motherboard wrote a story called "Humans Have Used All the Earth's Resources for the Year." Now, there's this thing called Earth Overshoot Day, which happens once a year, and that's when we've basically hit the bank overdraft on all of the consumables we've gone through per year as a species on planet Earth. And what that means is, basically, some crazy scientist somewhere at the start of the year goes, all right, you guys get 5 million cheeseburgers this year. And then you get 5 billion gallons of water, and you get this many Star Wars toys, and you get this many celery sticks and this many cigarettes. We ate them all already.
We ate all the celery sticks.
We did it.
I had none of those, I can assure you. I hate celery.
This year, Earth Overshoot Day fell on August 8th, which is, still have many months left in this year, and we've already used all of our consumable resources. The biggest problems so far have been Australia, USA, Switzerland, South Korea, Russia, and Germany and France are the top sort of 7 countries that have used the most and more than they should have.
Australia, really?
Yeah. So what does that mean? That means that
Australia beat us at consuming things?
Yeah, per capita basically.
Huh.
Which they're I think because everything keeps burning there.
I'm surprised that Switzerland's in the 3rd place. I mean, I thought they were very conservative over there. They always putting holes in cheese to make it more aerodynamic and putting all their tools in one knife.
That's true, but we put holes in cheeseburgers at White Castle, and it doesn't seem to be doing us any good because we serve them in sacks of 12.
Yeah, we do.
So Max, what can people do to pump the brakes on consuming so much since we've overdrafted on our big boy bellies?
Stop 3D printing so many recycle bins.
That's true.
Recycle some recycle bins and use the ones you already got.
Yeah, when you head on down to BK and pick yourself up a quad stacker, that's 4 beef patties and 4 full of cheesers. Maybe get a triple.
Yeah, or
Maybe
get 2 doublers and stack them right together on your own. That way they only have to use one of the bun containers.
The next time you're at a movie theater and they say unlimited refills, don't.
Or do. Because that way you're making the most of the coins that you gave that man.
Is that true? Wait
Probably.
I think we're getting mixed up here.
If you see the movie, make sure you stay after the credits because Nick Fury might show up. But also, there's free popcorn everywhere.
Yeah.
You can have some if you'd like it.
Yeah, there's also if you sneak into a movie theater, sneak into a bunch of movies at once, and they don't have to print a bunch of tickets. Also, if you have a bicycle at home, instead of riding a car, you can take that bicycle and burn it for fuel.
Yeah. Also, don't throw away a bicycle after riding it to where you're trying to go. Ride it at least 3 or 4 times so that you're not wasting bicycles.
A lot of people like to dress up as clowns.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Ever.
You're scaring a lot of people, and scaring people causes stress, and stress causes eating. So stop with the clown stuff.
Always pre-order everything because it's
Better than buying it up front because they don't have to do it with the receipt.
That's true.
Yeah.
And remember, if you're really hungry, eat ice.
Yes.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Make ice soup, ice sandwiches, and ice cups.
Yep. There
Everything
you
you
go.
can eat. Now, in the meantime, you're probably thinking, what should I do with the food I have now? Because I've got tons of it. Because I don't know how to shop. I shop at a store that has a shipping pallet that I stack with meats and cheeses. It's called BJ's or Costco. Why do you go there? Everything
Okay.
in moderation.
Hey, Brian, speaking of food, you know what I'm real tired of?
What, Max?
Having to write on toast the old-fashioned way.
What?
Aren't you sick of when you're trying to write a note to your loved one, like, hi,
What?
on your
What?
toast, it doesn't show up. And the toast tastes like markers.
Why did
That's
you-
just awful. Or maybe you want to give toast to your enemy and you want to write something mean like fart. Man, he can hardly read that. It doesn't show up one bit.
Says
Well,
fairy.
there's finally a solution to this problem.
That's not a
It's
problem.
called the Toasteroid, and it's the first app-controlled smart image toaster. Finally, we can now print all kinds of stuff on our toast, and it'll show up clearly. As you can see, you can say, rock on, it's breakfast time. Or you can say, hey, the Minions are here. Or how about this? Who doesn't like a nice toast with a picture of beer on it? That works more than one ways. Cheers to that, am I right? I propose a toast. Brian, one of these can be yours for just a bunch of money. Just head on over to Kickstarter, that great service for backing wonderful ideas, such as this one, where you can write the letter K on the side of toast, or say, good day. Good day to you, inventors of the Toasteroid, app-controlled image toaster printer.
What are you talking?
I'm stuck doing this the old-fashioned way.
You don't stop. Can you stop? Why? What was that? Stop doing that. I hate that. What the? First of all, we just did a segment about wasting food and conserving it, and you just destroyed 3 pieces of. Oh, that's sweet.
I love you, Brian.
I love you
Have
too.
some toast.
I love you too, Max.
Don't eat it, though, because it's got Sharpie on it. Yeah, anyway, that's a real product on Kickstarter. I just wanted to write on bread. Can you blame me?
There's bread all over our desk now.
Yeah, that's good, because we've got an entire flock of ducks that are coming in after this segment. We have ducks come in after every show. It's great.
Man, stranger things certainly have happened on this show.
All right, so Stranger... This is such a dumb show. I love doing this. Also, we really should do something with these crumbs.
There's a lot, yeah.
We're going to have earwigs in here.
I'm eating that bread.
Okay. So Stranger Things on Netflix, if you haven't seen it, is awesome. It's a really good show. It's just kind of all of the best sort of coming-of-age, supernatural 80s stuff rolled together. I'm dying for a season 2. They're going to make a season 2, but like a lot of people, I have to wait because they don't give me Netflix seasons early. I don't know why they would. If you're like me and you enjoyed Stranger Things and you want something else to watch that kind of fits that bill, I have gotten a list together of a bunch of different other strange things that you might also enjoy. So let's take a look at those real fast, rapid fire. Obviously, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. If you haven't seen this since you were a kid, please watch it. It's really good. This is Spielberg in his prime, and it's obviously a huge, clear inspiration for Stranger Things, the series.
Also,
mostly,
easily the best movie about Reese's Pieces.
definitely. Close Encounters of the Third Kind is kind of a slept-on Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
Really creepy. It's kind of E.T. for adults. It also came out the same year as Star Wars, so no one saw it. Then there's Goonies, which Spielberg produced. That's one of my favorite movies. I love it. I love the Goonies. I think it's good, so you should watch it.
It's also about a bunch of kids getting in trouble on an awesome adventure.
Yeah.
It echoes a lot of the sentiments from Stranger Things.
Yeah, more lighthearted, that kind of kid camaraderie. Then there's Gremlins, which is definitely the supernatural angle. This was from a wonderful era when kids' movies were just real messed up.
Yeah.
Real messed up.
This is like a legit. Gremlins 2 is kind of a fun, campy, live-action cartoon. Gremlins 1 is a legit, terrifying, gross, grotesque horror film.
It's a
But
horror movie
still,
for kids.
You should watch it.
Moving on, Stand By Me. There's no spooky ghosts or magic in this one, but it is very clearly something that Stranger Things took some cues from. Stranger Things obviously drew a lot from Stephen King's work. This is one of those rare Stephen King stories that isn't about monsters. It's just about some kids standing by each other.
And finding a corpse.
Hey man, spoilers, dude. Super 8, more recent.
Yep.
If you haven't seen that, you would like it if you like Stranger Things. And then most recently, Midnight Special is a movie. I actually haven't seen this. You suggested I throw this on here.
This is actually really cool because it sort of takes on what Stranger Things does, but with a slightly more kind of visceral, more mature angle. It's about a kid with alien powers, and his caretakers try to rescue him and bring him back to safety.
Cool.
And it's Very beautiful. So go check
Cool.
that out.
That just came out in like March.
yeah,
as
I think you
see
can
here.
watch that on demand right now.
Cool. Then there's the TV show Fringe.
Yep.
They do a lot of jumping around. That's also J.J. Abrams, who did Super 8.
Yeah, it's sort of like exploring the supernatural. There's
Yeah.
a lot of like weird kid angles because they do show flashbacks to when the main characters were younger. Great show. It really falls off after the 3rd season, but I'll say the first 2 seasons are some of the best sci-fi TV ever made.
Cool. Well, another best sci-fi
Hell
TV
yeah.
is also X-Files, which has no children in it, except for probably spooky ones at some point. That's another show that falls off at some point, but different people will tell you different points about that. I had nightmares about this show as a kid. Anyway, Twin Peaks, starring a man who everyone says looks like me. That's David Lynch's really weird Midwestern noir show. Is it supernatural? Or is it just weird? It's just weird. It's very weird. But yeah, small town mystery stuff might be your kind of thing. Stephen King's It. This was a huge, huge influence on Stranger Things, as you might have guessed by the font here. It is, they made the movie of it, which scarred a lot of my generation. The book is very different, and it's much more about kind of kids growing up together and having fun adventures. So Stranger Things, very similar to that. This one might seem like more of a surprise. Read the Akira manga. For F's sake, it is so good. It is such an awesome comic. It's one of my favorite just printed anythings ever. The movie's crazy and off the wall and very cyberpunk, but the comic is much more about kids kind of getting in trouble. Also, telekinesis. Witches by Scott Snyder very much hits on that kind of like stuff that scares you as a kid. As you can see right there, Stephen King liked it. He says it's a fabulous triumph. Yeah, you can get a collected volume of this. Oxenfree is a game that came out this year about a bunch of kids
Good call.
creeping around, doing mystery stuff, and there's supernatural things going on. I think that's on like everything at this point. I think it's on like Linux even. So you can check that out. This one isn't out yet, but it's supposed to come out later this year. It's called Crossing Souls. It is really cool. It's basically if Stranger Things was a Saturday morning cartoon / Super Nintendo game.
I love that logo.
I am dying to play this game.
Yeah.
I demoed it at E3 like last year or something, and I can't wait to see more of it. So
It looks like the Burger King Kids Club go to Alien Town.
pretty much.
I'm into it.
Yeah, one of the kids is a magical ghost. So there you go. On that note, those are 15 things to check out if you like Stranger Things. If you have other suggestions and you're not watching this live like we sometimes do it, drop something in the comments. I totally forgot Alan Wake, and I'm sure I forgot other stuff. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Thanks, Max.
Yeah,
we have
for
a few
sure.
minutes left in the show, so we're going to check in on the social media feeds. We got a great tweet from Evan M. Hibbard. That's at Hibby the Hobbit.
You know what we
He
could
says,
do?
Hold on,
If
real
you
quick.
finish.
He says, if you could pick one classic Star Wars character to appear in Rogue One, who would it be? Greedo. Definitely Greedo. I want to see
Pretty
what
good.
I want
Pretty
to
good.
see what kind of adventures that dude got into.
Man. If we're counting expanded universe, I'd love it if Kyle Katarn showed up in some form, because if you go back, he was the guy who in Dark Forces stole the Death Star plans initially, and obviously he's not in the movie. But if he made some kind of cameo to be like, hey, he's not entirely written out of canon, that would be kind of nice. So there you go.
Cool.
I had a great bad idea. This game showed up online. It's right here. I have it. It's called Sesame Street Fighter. Yeah.
Yes!
Check it out. It's a typing game about the Muppets. And you can play as all kinds of these different characters. I'm going to be Oscar the Grouch because I like him.
Who's the unlockable character? Is that Elmo down there?
Elmo is Elm Bison.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, let's check this out. We're gonna see who's better at
Yeah.
spelling.
Oh, man. Oscar.
Okay.
What?
Oh, come on. What? KHABROVSK. Wow.
Oh,
cool.
wow. This
What?
is awesome.
Magneto Gore. Why is it making me write Russian?
It's taken that dude a long time to spell clam. He's not right in the head.
This is nuts. This isn't that. I did one that was animals. It was-
Magnetorgaroskin clam.
I'm trying to type it, but I don't.
Eagle.
What? This is hard. I don't like
Spell
this
the
word. I'm trying to spell it.
Oh, man. He's taking you down.
Stop it. Quit it.
Owl. Magnitogorsk.
I keep spelling this one.
Max,
it's
you can't
not a word. I don't know what that word is.
Spell Magnitogorsk.
Stop yelling at me. This is terrible. I don't like this one bit. I'm screwing up a bunch. He's writing owl and cat. What is this word?
All right.
Damn it. Okay.
Well, that's Sesame Street Fighter.
Sesame Street Fighter. You can check that out.
It's
just
free,
Google it.
right?
Yeah, it's on like, what's the name of the website? I could tell you it right now. I could if I find it.
Well, while Max brings that up, I just wanted to say real quick, thank you so much for watching Up at Noon this week. Thank you to our special guest, Ryan Scott, and to Zach Ryan for producing. Bring it in, baby.
Yeah.
This is probably one of my favorite episodes we've ever done. That was a good time.
was a good time.
Actually, we knocked it out the park so hard this week that we're not even doing a show next week. Yeah, I'm going to Germany, and we're going to be doing Gamescom stuff, so watch IGN. We'll be live streaming for 3 days, interviews with all your favorite devs and lots of secret surprises, and Max is going to make a really tall sandwich at his desk.
Yep.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Well, I miss you, Brian.
I'll miss you too, Max.
All right, bring me back a large flute.
Yes.
Germany,
Thanks for watching.
home of the flutes.